Oh, hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to OccultCatTv. So, filmed this video a little bit ago, releasing it today. It is my first Occult Cat podcast. There will be many to come, as well. I'll be releasing a lot more content um, on just magic, visualization, imagination, how to create your reality, getting through the Cliffoth, understanding the Sephiroth, understanding the abyss and all these magical concepts, as well as just honestly having fun and talking to people. After this, I have a few podcasts set up with a few other cultists in the in the mainstream in the community.
Okay. Hey,
And
what's up, you guys?
for myself, I'm just letting you guys know who I am. What's up, guys? I'm O'Shea. You can call me Cool Cat or Atanu. Um, And these are my views, how I see reality. And with that, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Lots to come. Peace. I'm out.
Okay. Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Cool Cat coming back at you with another video. Occult Cat TV. No, I'm joking. So well, you can call me Atanu, but my name is O'Shea. Which means hawk-like. So today I wrote like 7 pages in my occult book about the ego and about how we remove our ego. And then I got sent on this journey with this deity telling me that, this deity telling me that, this deity telling me that. So I was originally gonna call the video Shiva Magic, but I'm just gonna call it Primal Craft Part 3. Because Shiva Shiva came forward, and then as well Hecate came forward, just started to hear dogs barking, and all of these are symbolisms on the journey. When you remove your ego, this is when you can start to see those synchronicities. This is when you can start to see, oh, okay, so dogs barking around me, maybe Hecate's around me. And then from that cue, that symbolism, then you go within and then you feel Hecate's energy beside you as well, or Shiva, also known as Lucifer, or also known as like Lucifer to some. So let's get started. Um, so I'm gonna start off the video actually with going into a little bit about Ganesh, a Hindu deity. You don't have to associate him with Hinduism at all, or just that culture, because he's there for everybody. A like just like Hermes is patron of thieves, Ganesh really don't care what you do. Just as long as if he's bringing you abundance, try to do something good with it. But Ganesh is there for everyone. He's an energy that I honestly recommend everyone to use. He's an intelligent deity that's of source. That is he's a deva, or what's known as a deity in that culture. And actually, as I do this video, um, there, I have edible gummies that I'm actually gonna be giving. I'm gonna give this as an offering to Lord Ganesh. It's an offering of candy, as well as weed. Weed is the symbolism for wisdom. In ancient Chinese texts or books, they talk about how weed helps you to see spirits, and as well is an abundance herb, so it gives you abundance and wisdom if you have the ability to ground that abundance. So yeah, Lord Ganesh, I give you this offering of an edible Om Gam Ganapate Namo Namaha. As I say that, I infuse the edible, the gummy, with Ganesh's energies. And then as I eat it, I'm taking on his energy, his essence, and his energy, using it to grow myself. Ganesh's energies are wisdom, intelligence, wisdom because he has an elephant head, symbolizing wisdom. He can help you in artistic abilities as well as your skills. As I do this, oh, my video cut out. Okay. So, video cut out, so don't have that. So, as I eat this gummy, this edible, I'm taking in Ganesh's energy, his essence. I'm envisioning it with every bite, just being one with everything in the all, infinite consciousness and bliss. So if anyone doesn't feel that energies, it's just all about aligning to that polarity. We can think almost in any dimension and any region. So if we're thinking at a negative polarity, then we're more in the cliff off. We are more, well, you could say, in a negative or emotional state. And that's why a lot of demons will come to people when they, or you could say like, those darker energies come to you when you're at your lowest, when you are down, when you are at that polarity. Because we can bring ourselves, you could say, down in vibration with our thoughts, our actions, our frequency, just as we can bring ourselves forward. We can bring ourselves up, going into that polarity. And as you start to meditate, and as you start to detach yourself from your ego, you actually start to see these things. You start to see these things within yourself. Because it's as we remove our ego, we are seeing into, we're in a sense like, you could say by dissoluting our ego, by looking at it, we are walking our path. Or I'll let the energies of Ganesh come forward. We are removing our obstacles that lie in our way. As we remove and dissolute our ego, we remove the obstacles that are in our way. The obstacles are only created because we allow so, because we say so. This is why removing obstacles for so many is so hard, because we are not allowing ourselves to remove that obstacle, to give up that thinking and that way of being. And that as we look into our ego, we actually see it from, as we start to meditate, we detach ourselves from our ego. And this allows us to go further within our mind. The ego is the conscious aspect of ourselves. You could say it is the yang energy. It is the solid, masculine aspect that we hold within ourselves, or without, but as above, so below, as without, so within. So whatever state our ego is at, this is what's going to govern our way of life and our being. This is in more negative polarities. This is what addiction comes from. It's because we don't want to like let go of those aspects of ourselves. If you know people like, okay, so people that are addicted to drugs, they're not addicted. There is just something in their head telling them, "Oh, I'm addicted. I need this. I have to have this. If I don't have that, then like chocolate. I love chocolate so much, guys. Guys, I've been thinking about a chocolate bar for 4 days straight. 3 of those I'm going to go get a chocolate bar later. But 3 of those days I'm talking about really good chocolate, not just like that fucking Hershey's shit. Oh my god. But for 3 days I was thinking about chocolate. Chocolate. I wanted it so bad, to the point that I started to envision and imagine eating chocolate to the point of physicality. That's how physical I can make things. That's how vivid my mind is. Um and as I was doing this though, I started to realize that how much the ego, this thing, this illusory thing, once. Did I mention once things? It just wants things all the time, to the point that if you go back in psychology, it wants looking at the mind and its correlation to meat. If you guys understand, if you guys only understood the complexity to which our mind has limitations and barriers and walls, that if we hold on to, that if we don't believe otherwise, that it solidifies those walls. Actually, it solidifies those neural pathways in our mind, because every time we do something, we are ingraining like a fucking pencil, into a table. We are ingraining our mind with every movement, action, thought that we do. This is why in specifically training, lifting weights, sports, that every repetition that we do wrong, like for myself, martial arts, every time I punch incorrectly and I hit the bag, well, I mean, not one, do I can suffer or risk damage to my wrist, depending at the velocity and the impact in which I'm trying to hit and what I'm trying to do. But as well, that's a physical pathway that I'm paving for myself, muscle memory, to the point that my muscle memory now becomes mental imagery, and through my nerves, it's giving that response and it's giving that signal and that output. But it isn't until I start to correct that behavior and that form that I actually start to better myself. But if I wasn't looking outside, of my ego, then I would keep doing the same repetitious pattern. I'd keep doing the same thing, the same. This is why you can do things for 10 years and be stuck in the same place. It's because your neural pattern is just set on a default instead of a high intensity. Anyone that plays video games, there's rankings in video games, right? To the point that people even become pro off video games. If, like, I play League of Legends, right? Some people are stuck bronze for 10 years, playing the same champion, wasting 30 minutes in game, never winning, because they ingrained within themselves poor foundation, poor skills, and poor habits. So every time that we are doing this to ourselves, we are actually taking, by just throwing yourself at things and just doing them over and over again. Like, you can live till 50. What did you do in those 50 years? You'll be like, well, at least I'm not dead. How much did you live? How much did you live? Because in those 50 years, what were you doing? To remove the ego allows us to bypass what we would be doing our whole lives. It isn't until we start to breathe and we start to detach ourselves from our ego, from this thing in which we think that we are. We're not able to do our magic. We are not able to see our true self and who we're meant to become. Instead, we let the ego run and dictate our life on this process, on these processes that were just programmed within us at birth, instead of choosing to go within and remove the ego, or at least remove the grasp in which it has on you, on ourselves. Because as we start to breathe, we are now detaching ourselves from our ego, so it no longer is our source, because the ego will tell you things to get you just to believe in that source, to be that source. It wants you to think that that is the only thing that you can rely on. This is why it makes you alone, why it makes you feel alone, depressed, anxious. Feel as if no one's there, because that's what it is. But at the same time, it is you. So you must love your ego. And that is what many forget on this path, is to love themselves. We get so caught up in logic and evolving and moving forward and progressing and growing and even doing shadow work that at times we forget the one thing that we all need and that matters in this reflection is love. Because to observe yourself, observe your ego, observe who you are, and to not love yourself is only to destroy yourself. Because if you look at yourself and these things and you have all these misconceptions, these judgments, these doubts, these fears, you are only looking within yourself and projecting those fears onto yourself. But when you have love for yourself, that is the first rule, then you have to go within and understand. And we understand by observing. So love yourself. You must love yourself first and love who you are. And then go within and start to reflect on yourself. Start to see yourself for who you are. Not how you want to judge yourself. Oh, I'm ugly. I'm this. I'm that. No. Love yourself and who you are, because you chose this body. You chose this incarnation, and you chose who you are. You chose who you were going to be, and you chose who you were meant to become. You incarnated for a purpose and a reason, even if you do not know what that purpose for this incarnation is yet. Know that it's all to show you something. Are you learning the lessons? Are you learning the lessons? Because that's what the ego is trying to teach you. So never hate your ego, nor destroy your ego, but instead disillude your ego. Dissolve it so that you can see through it. This is what it is to embrace your source, to enter in a trueness of yourself. And the moment that you are brought into this truth, this recollection, and this knowing, It is from those truths that when you observe them, you love them, you unify with them, that you become now your source. And it is these truths, your source, that dissolves your ego. It obliterates your ego. And it shows it who you are, so that as you are existing in this body, with all these processes, you know now as the observer, beyond the observer state, that you are not your body, you are not your mind, you are that which lies behind the gate. And that gate is to the subconscious mind, is to the subconscious realms. And that as you embrace subconscious mind and you go within, it is here that as you've detached from your ego, that you are going into the gate of your mind, and as from the gate you can go anywhere, you can become anything. This is your 0 point. This is when you can see all timelines unfolding in front of you of what will happen, of what you'll do, of what you can become. But it's only from removing, it's only from dissolving your ego that you know these truths and you know who you are. And it's the moment that you start to know who you are, that you start to act on that wisdom, and that you integrate these truths. For that is as well what we would call your daemon. Your daemon is brought out every time you get a glimpse and an epiphany of who you are and what you're meant to become, yourself at your greatest version. Your daemon is not outside of you. It is no God. It is within. It is you at your greatest version and what you could become if you embrace the torch within, this light and this wisdom. It is this torch. You're taking what you know, who you are, what you've experienced, and you are going into the gates of your mind. As your wisdom is your torch, it is a symbolism of what you've been through, what you've endured. What do you know? Truly, what do you know? Use this wisdom and this knowing. Leave everything else behind that is not true, that is not you. And know that it is an illusion. You must not attach to this illusion, just as you must not attach to your ego or who you believe yourself to be, your sense of worth, your pride, humility. Humility lies for those who take too much pride in who they are, not realizing that who they are is temporary. That this is but a body, a vessel, and this is but a world, but as well a world that we are shaping through this time that we have here. The ego, when not unified with your inner source, your inner being, your true self, the daemon, when it is not aware that you are the master, it will only mislead you with what you know, with what it thinks you to be, with what you think yourself to be, and what you think you are. But what you are is more than that. What you are is more than even what you're meant to become. And if you can only see that, then you can see past that and realize that. Seek not what the masters teach, but seek what they sought. Where were they being led? Where were they being guided? Just as where are you being led? Where are you being guided? It is all through your actions, your thoughts, your frequency, your awareness. That you navigate yourself through this interdimensional reality, this universe. It is by stepping into your being, your true being, that you are dissolving that which is not real. And by dissolving these illusions, you transmute them into truths. And truths, more truths are brought to you to the point that every synchronicity, everything, every person sent your way is to show you who you are. Every video, that everything is guiding you and leading you in the right direction and to where you're meant. For this is what it is to take the oath of the abyss. To jump into the abyss, to look into the darkness and see what you find there, using your light. And then it is from using your light that you use this light as a torch in that abyss, and that you find in the dark room of your mind the keys, the tools, the wisdom, and the knowledge to know who you are and to understand the journey that is to befall you, because we are all on the hero's journey. We are all on the hero's journey as we are on our path to source, as we are paving our way back to who we originally intended to be. This is why there are no illusions guiding me. This is why there's no obstacles in the way. As Ganesh said earlier as well, the obstacles are only there if you perceive them to be. So there only is the ego if you perceive the ego. There only is that attachment if you perceive attachment. If not, there is no attachment. There is nothingness. It's just like darkness. You can't judge darkness. It can't be scary. It's just darkness. It's how you perceive it. It's how you shape the journey. Do you see the obstacles? Not saying that they're not there, right? Do you see them? No, because they're not obstacles. Because it is just a journey. And when you love the journey for what it is, you love the process. Remember, because it's not the end result. Everyone wants to be enlightened. Everyone wants to ascend. But again, it's the legacy that you're leaving in that ascension. What are you leaving behind? How did you get to where you are? Reverse engineer that. Look back into your memories, into your past, into all the things that you were doing, and see how you can do it better. See yourself now as your greatest version already, and then move forward from there. So, with that, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna smoke some weed and give it as an offering to Shiva. I was originally gonna talk about a lot of other things, guys, but this just went into a really good channeling session. So I'm gonna keep going with that. Okay, so that was intense. That was a lot. as well, what I said, even if you didn't fully understand it, or maybe you thought I was going in circles, it's all packed with a vibration and a frequency for you guys to better understand who you are and where you came from, because that's actually what this journey is for. And when we remove our ego, we start to get all these signs and these synchronicities that pop in our way and in our face. It could be something that we never thought real. Like a few years ago I got into music after entering into the Sephiroth, the Cliffoth. And then from music, um I got into like kind of game design, like music, cinematic game design, kind of like music. And then from that I got led to graphic design and like doing art. And then from that I was led to learn coding, um animation, and kind of combining what I knew in the past, because as well I know music, I know how to do podcasts and do voice editing, mastering, story writing, storytelling, all of these things. I'm putting that now to use in what I'm creating as I establish this foundation of um going into animation. I had to know music. Even if I didn't, even if I stopped right now, I would still have everything I learned in those different avenues and areas as utility to what I'm doing now. So never reject who you were, because by rejecting who we are, we're limiting ourselves from the possibilities that we could create. I literally, for myself, I sold a high-end gaming computer because I was like, no, fuck this. I'm gonna be a monk. I'm just gonna meditate all day long. And then later on, I started to realize from these other monks, and like guys, I was still, I was still eating meat. I was just meditating for most of my free time, in a sense. I got rid of all the distractions, and that's something that I needed. But I got rid of all these things just to come back to it. Even my ego. I dissolved my ego just to come back to, oh, I actually do need an ego. I need to I need to empower and embrace what with what I learned from not having the ego. And then as I reform my new ego, I had to have dissolved my old one. So I had to, again, like I had to sell my computer. I had to dissolve my computer and those things that I felt were holding on to me, so that I could, I learned the lesson of detachment. I had to detach in order to understand that, like, this is my path, this is what's meant for me. But when you're getting mad and you're creating force towards your path, when you, like, when you're depressed and you're like, why isn't anything working out for me? I feel like I'm doing all the right things, this and that. That's your ego. It's not working out because of the way that you think, bud. It's not working out because of the way how you feel, right? And that as you start to take the steps back into who you are and look at yourself and your journey. For myself, I gave up video games, right? To just take on um to realize maybe I'm meant to create a game. Maybe I'm meant to create video games or animations, as well. I used to watch anime all the time. Instead of consuming all the time, I should also create. So, not saying I even have to, for myself, I even had to stop, but I was able to cut down. And now I'm being brought back to the journey after learning meditation, after going through the Sephiroth and Cliffoth, after going through all these initiations. And I now have the willpower from encountering my true self, from encountering my daemon, working with angels, demons, dragons, um, Amalek, uh, Lucifer, Hecate, Belial, these the Egyptian pantheon, Horus and Thoth, the Hindu pantheon, Ganesh and Shiva. It's after working in all these different areas, these different sectors, in different many forms of magic and the occult and spirituality and metaphysics and quantum physics and understanding simulation theory and how all of this is just a game. We're living in a simulation and we can choose to do with it whatever we desire. And the only limitation is how we feel. So how do you feel? What is your vibration? Because once we understand, know, and master vibration, then we can become anything. Because this is what the masters understand. They understand vibration and frequency. And from that, they can lock into any vibration or frequency. They can tap into that. And from that, they know they're abundant. They know that they're a master of their craft. They know that they are their greatest version. And from that, having that truth, having that source, that knowledge, and that wisdom, that's what helps to empower their will and as well their magical workings. This is why we dissolve the ego, so that our magic becomes greater, so that our magic becomes better, so that we are not only, for those of you who do rituals or do meditation, we're not only meditating in lotus position. We're not only doing rituals in our ritual space, but we know we are magic. We are walking magic. Magic is flowing through us in every moment with every step that we take along the way. And it's by taking those steps to better our connection with that source, with our magic and our ancestors, and go within to who we truly are. That all that is only achieved when we dissolve our ego and our sense of self-knowing, our sense of self-worth. And from dissolving all of this, we are able to step into a greater version of ourself. And this is what Shiva teaches. This is Shiva magic. Shiva magic is when you're using meditation to manifest. You are using meditation to create. You're using meditation and breath work. It's through meditation that we dissolve any sort of sense of self-worth. Okay, so yeah, now I give this offering of marijuana to Lord Shiva. It's just a bowl of weed, guys, or cannabis. And as I give this offering of marijuana to Lord Shiva, I empower it with my greatest source and version and becoming my greatest self, mastering myself, my art, and my craft, embracing self-mastery. I thank you for this guide. I thank you for your guidance and wisdom along my path, Lord Shiva. And then as I breathe, I'm going to infuse the marijuana with the energies of Shiva. I gave the candy to Ganesh. This is all a ritual. This is all a ritual, guys. Manifestation, abundance, helping you to progress spiritually. I gave it to Ganesh because before we call on Shiva, we call on Ganesh. People are like, why do we do this? Why does everyone say you have to call on Ganesh first? It's to their culture. One, it's respectful, like to that pantheon, but two, it's also an archetypal and alchemical symbolism of how you need Ganesh. You need the root chakra. You need to ground. Well, we don't need chakras, but that's another video. We are one solid mass of energy, and chakras, all they are is just energetic prisons. So it's like when I don't know that I am everything in the all, that I am you and you are me, then I'm gonna act different. Then maybe because of that I steal or I cheat or I lie, right? But because I know that I am you and you are me, we are all everything together, then it makes me look at how I treat people a lot different. Um and that's also the ego field versus the unity field. So when you are unified with source, when you are unified with your inner being, then you as well, you act that way with others. You are unified. You try to help them, you try to help them to progress and evolve because you are on your path of evolution, you are on your path of ascension. And the whole reason for you to know your true self, and this ties into the will, the true self, the will, and the daemon. The whole reason that you uncover your truths is as well to share those truths. The whole reason that you could say Yeshua, as we know him as an occultist, and as well a magi, a magician of his time, he taught what he was and what he knew, and he said that not out of ego, because he did the work. He put in the work to know himself and uncover himself. He didn't just have a set path, but he paved one that was so clear that all others recognized that and they could see that emanate off him through what he was teaching, through what he was saying, because he was unified with his father, with source. And then he was trying to give people that energy. No, you are gods and more, right? As well, another breatharian teacher, Shiva, teaches breatharianism. So does Yeshua. Different paths, but the same source. Krishna and Yeshua, Krishna Christ, Yeshua Christ. And then so I'm gonna take a hit of this. Oh, and then we're gonna talk about Shiva a little bit. Okay, so we can look at Shiva as, so Ganesh is the son of Shiva. He's not the actual son, but he is a son created by his wife Parvati. She's like, "Oh, look what I created. Like, look what I made." And then he came home, he accidentally fucking killed that. He killed Ganesh, cut his head off. He's like, "Fucking intruder." And then he's like, "What? What bitch?" Like, this is Ganesh. Ganesh walks up to him. He's like, "What bitch? This is my house." And he's like, "Dude, I was just away in like a fucking billion year trance of meditation. This is my house, and that's my wife." Or Parvati wasn't there, you know what I'm saying? But like, "That's my wife. What are you doing here?" And then he's just like, "Bit, what? This is my house." Comes at him with a sword, and then Shiva just, because he's the supreme all everything auspiciousness, he just like fucking blinked his third eye, and then it fucking cut off Ganesh's head. Just cut it off. So that's why he doesn't have a human head, but he has an elephant head. Because fucking Parvati came back. She's like, "You fucking kill my kid. You kill my kid. You kill my kid. Why'd you?" Oh, he's like, "Oh, calm down. We're gods. We're gods. I'm gonna go into the forest. I'm gonna cut an elephant. I'm gonna cut a head off this elephant, and and I'm gonna put it on his head, and he's gonna be good, and he's gonna be wise." And then she's like, "Okay, okay." Um, and then so they do that, and then that's what created the symbolism of Ganesh. And again, I'm just being fun with you guys. I'm breaking that down, having fun. Um, that's the symbolism of Ganesh for wisdom. So having an elephant head. Um, these beings and these deities, a lot of them have elephant heads. I mean, have animal heads such as Horus, Thoth, or Horus with the hawk. Hawk fam, what's up? Heru energy. Heru. Ow, ow, Heru. Werewolf fam, vampire fam, what's up? Everybody joining the building. We got fairies in here. We got elementals. Whatever soul you are, we connected. I'm connecting the fam. Because that's what I'm trying to do, guys. Is I'm trying to bring everybody together through this channel, through spirituality and through source. Because when we embrace our source, it doesn't matter what soul someone's fucking someone's reptilian, someone's amphibian. No, I'm joking. But we're all a different soul, like reptilian, Blu-rays, like just like like star seeds, right? Andromedan, um Syrian souls, Sirius, right? But it's these energies that link and unify all of us. Um, so as okay, so next, I'm guys, sorry, I'm getting so much downloads right now. Grounding. Okay, so Ganesh helps us to ground ourselves, and then you can look at it as the area of the root chakra. You can even flex that muscle. Um, you can flex that muscle and start to feel that energy and draw that energy down into that like that sacral center, right? And then into the root center. All these are centers of energies, just as your crown, right? The crown isn't even a chakra. The crown is what you achieve. Well, is what you achieve and what you earn through your trials. But you awaken the crown. You open and expand the infinite petals that are on your head, that are in your third eye and that nervous system as it spreads down. Because your nervous system links your whole body, because that is the physical representation of your energy system. So if you feel anxious all the time, you actually might be feeling anxious all the time because you're not integrated with your energy. So you feel it outside of yourself and you feel it, but it's not grounded. So what you need to do is bring it into your being, unify it into your essence, and then bring it down, like hold it downward. You can even envision green under you and then have it pull down. Have it pull down all of these energies, all of these stagnant energies and these like, negative energies, negative thoughts, you could say, and then it transmutes them. I do this when I have, say, pain in my face or pressure. And then like if your third eye ever hurts, you can do this and just pull that energy down, let it just absorb, soak, and fall away. So I'm gonna keep going with this. All magic comes from the same source, and then different pantheons take it and define it as their own energies, such as Eros just spawned from the primordial, Like one day, literally just out of nowhere, I think it's out of the abyss or out of like the void. Also, Hecate has a dragon out of the void. Many beings just spawn out of the void or out of nothingness. And then that's why they are given these magical abilities. Like sometimes they're children being born. Like these gods are just children being born from the universe. They're just like Aphrodite comes up. So what do you do? Oh, love, da 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 da, Venus love. Okay, we the same fam. Okay. So you're able to do this, and like Eros is able to he can control other deities through love, and that's what is that ability? Like source, the universe gave him that out of all abilities, because who we are all granted and given our own abilities, protection, um guidance, wisdom. We're all different. We're all better. We're all good and different. We're all good and better at different things, and that's what makes us unique, and that's what makes us source, and that's what makes us like we're all helping each other. It's like a divine play, a divine dance. It's not just one person dancing, but it is one dance. But we are all separate individual vibrations and frequencies emitting our own tandava, our own dance, our own sacred dance. Then as we're creating, like I like to look at it like, okay, so when me and homies do shrooms, right? We'll just we're all in the same universe, like we're all linked in that trip, but at the same time it's just like, bro, I'm over here, you're like I like for the homie, I'm over here, for me, I'm over here. Like we're in different areas and we have our own thing that's going on. And we have our own space and we're just like talking with our guides and being with our own guides. And but at the same time all of our guides are the same. So we're all unified, helping each other, but at the same time, again, some people we are all different. So some people act in ego. There's ego field and unity field. Um, I like to connect the soul fam. I love, guys. I love connecting the soul fam. That's like the one thing I love more than anything, because to talk about this is my life. It is my passion. It is what I love. Oh, dude, guys. Okay, so with that, I wanna celebrate 111 subscribers, because that shit's been fucking beautiful. That's been lit. Um, because the symbolism of 111, I hold that very heavy to my heart, because that's intuition. That's This is my path, and I'm going down the right path, and I'm sharing what I feel is right, because at a certain point I didn't know what to share, because I didn't want to mislead people. I didn't know, I was still in the dark. But now I'm out of that dark. I'm out of that darkness. I'm out of that pit, that abyss. And I can see my journey, and I can see all of it with clarity. And I love my daemons, my demons for testing me, just as I love my angels for aligning me and balancing me. But at the end of the day, I know that I am my own being. I am my own God. I am my own creator of my universe. So I went through those trials to take on those energies to become my greatest version and my highest source. And now from learning all of that, what I want to do is help guide people out of the cliff off. And that's why I provide readings, and that's why I provide my services as a magician, because this is how I give back. I mean, as well, I receive money for my work and the things that I do, but at the same time, what I'm giving you is worth more than you could imagine, and I'm not even giving it to you. All I'm doing is giving all I'm doing is providing the dimension of energy to enter into your life in the way that it needs to, for you just to align yourself and be aligned. And that's why I even make content, because if I didn't think that this was worthy, or if this was if it wasn't valuable, then I wouldn't put it out and I wouldn't make it. And that's why I'm really grateful to you guys for supporting me, because 111, um gonna shoot for 1,000 subs this year and try to create a foundation. But 1,000, the number is just significant of goals. I'm going to create routines and exercises to lead me to that, to lead me to abundance, to lead me to growth. So let me know what else you guys want me to talk about when it comes to my videos, when it comes to the content, because I'm I'm now transitioning and there's a lot that I'm learning, but I want to, before, like, not that I don't understand some people, but before I don't know, reach a certain point where, like, I might not even make videos, right? Like, maybe a few years, at least not on this channel, because I do a lot of different activities and endeavors. So no, I'm joking. Like, see, guys, you thought. No, but I'm actually gonna start expanding a lot more and just teaching a lot more about all overall subjects. Um, because when you guys are given just different pieces of the puzzle, if I can try to make the whole narrative for you so that you can understand the narrative of what I'm trying to get through, like being like, the fucking, what's his name? What's Morpheus to Neo in the Matrix. I'm just giving you, like, yo, red pill, blue pill, what you want. I can help you manifest anything and everything through just watching my videos, understanding where I'm trying to lead you guys and show you. Because what I believe is, through embracing your, like, listening to everything I said, through embracing your source and striving to always evolve and grow, then there's nothing you can't accomplish. Then there's nothing you can't do. I used to say, this is something I got kind of from X. He said something in an interview, but it was like, what was it? Evolve, growth. I gotta go look back, but it was bangers. Um, but yeah, always stay studying. Always study what you can about, the occult, this craft, this arte, this magical art form, and know that your mind is the canvas in which you create. Your mind is the canvas of that, in which it's a blank canvas in which you use your thoughts, you use your frequency, vibration, what you imagine and visualize, how you feel. All of these are colors and shapes and definitions in which you are painting a picture for yourself. Every time you think about yourself, you think about your life, know that you can alter it and that you can create it with these things. Choose to evolve and grow in every situation that you're given. Don't fall to the moment. Don't let it mislead you. Don't let it don't let anything throw you off who you're meant to be and who you're meant to become. For who you're meant to be, you already are. And through knowing this, then you're already, if you know this, you've already won the battle, because you showed up. Because you showed up. That is what this life is. That is what this life is for. With the pain that I've been through, I'm not going to let anything drag me down or bring me down in this world ever again. And instead, I'm just going to always, anytime something negative happens towards me, I'm just like, and Guys, I'm still learning. I'm still sometimes I like okay, lately I've been on my game with meditation, but a few months back I wasn't meditating. I wasn't okay, right now I haven't been eating the best. I need to work on that. It's always about just working on these subtle like small little things that you could do, correcting your breathing, taking time out to breathe, to write, study, meditate, stay hydrated, guys. Drink water. Always remember to love yourself, self-care. And with that, I love you guys. Okay, so peace. Cool cat out. Again, this O'Shea dropping some occult knowledge. So this I'm titling this Occult Cat Cool Cat Podcast episode 1 because that's what it is. I'm just getting my thoughts out to you guys, trying to spread some love and wisdom. That source. High frequency and vibes. Get with the vibe tribe. Be with the soul fam. I'm that star seed, shamanic, incarnate, magi, shaman, witch, lich, king. Yeah, but okay. Like, embrace showing a Damon, guys. Peace. I'm out.